intentional, and that's what I teach my team. I teach principles that allows you to become the best version that you can and to create a power brand the way that I have been able to do it, and to kind of think outside of the box. And that's exactly what we need in network marketing. There's so many people thinking in the same realm that it's just getting oversaturated, and it's the same stuff on everybody's feed. And we just need to change that up, because if we want to make an impact and we want to get to the top of the company and stay at the top of the company, or, you know, whatever goals you have next, then you have to do something different than what other people are doing, right? So we're going to get right into the training. And let's talk about branding today, because I think that this is something that is like not taught in network marketing. I've been in network marketing for 4.5 years now, and I have personally sponsored more than 2,500 people. I have had a team of 10,000 plus, top income earner in my company, #1 recruiter in every company that I've been with. So all of that while homeschooling my 5 kids. And my journey started when we joined a health and wellness company at the very beginning, because my husband was a personal trainer. And the reason we joined that company was for him to do the business. And then I was like, I had 300 Facebook friends and I had like 150 Instagram followers. So I was like, why not just like post some things? Maybe I can figure out, you know, on my spare time, because at that time we were homeschooling a middle schooler. We had 2 little girls in pre-K and we had a 14-month-old. I had so much extra time that I was like, hey, maybe I can help my husband, you know, when the kids go to bed, and maybe something will happen, maybe nothing will happen, but I'll try anyway. So I started researching, like, how do companies grow their business through Instagram? And Instagram was my focus when I started in the business, because it was so much simpler for me. Like, it just made sense to connect with more people, right? And a lot of people are not using Instagram or Facebook because they really don't understand how to use it. They think the more that they post the business opportunity or the product on their social media networks, that the more people they're going to get in, and that is not the case. Hello, welcome. So, I started researching, like, how do big brands, not how everyone else in network marketing is growing their business, how do big brands like Nike and Mercedes and Apple and all these people that created incredible brands that like are going to be here for hundreds of years to come, how did they come up with their brand? What methods did they use? Like, what was the thought process on creating that brand? Y'all, when I started network marketing, I was struggling with severe adrenal fatigue. If you have adrenal issues or thyroid issues, you know what I'm talking about. There was days that, you know, my blood pressure was like 70/40. It was ridiculously difficult. But I want to encourage you and say, this is a learning curve. This is going to be very different than what you have been taught by anybody else or heard before. Take what you want out of it. Leave what does not apply to you, right? But when you talk about someone's brand, okay, I want you to think about a few different questions that I want to ask you, okay? What is your gift? What is your gift? You have a purpose. Everyone in here is gifted. If you don't know what your gift is, you have just not found it out yet, but you have a gift. What is your gift? If you think about it, you cannot be fulfilled without contribution. So when you're thinking of branding yourself, you're thinking about impact. What impact are you going to have on this world? Because of that gift that you have, because of that purpose that you have. See, branding is so much more than a pretty logo and selling makeup. Selling makeup is not your brand. Selling a weight loss product is not someone else's brand. Selling shampoo is not someone else's brand. That is part of what you do. That is part of your brand, but that isn't your brand. This is where people get stuck and they think that the more they do that has to do with the business, and I'm going to post, you know, lipstick on the banner and lipstick on here, and, you know, I'm doing this and that and company names everywhere. you are short selling yourself of the true power behind your brand. See, it doesn't take effort to put your company name on profiles. It doesn't take effort to just throw stuff out there. Anybody could do that. Like literally, my 15, 16-year-old can do that. The question is, how do we go from this is what my brand is to this is what I do for a living and I love what I do for a living? But that isn't the core of my brand. Like, you're a human being. You have gifts. You have a calling. You have things that you're passionate about. So how do we bring that to the forefront and make that your brand? And then we sprinkle in what it is that you do. Because, see, people are not going to be attracted to you because of a lipstick cover. People are not going to be attracted to you because of what you do. People are attracted to who you are. What is the message of your brand? And if the message of your brand, all I care about is lipstick and hair and, shampoo or whatever the case may be, that's just very shallow. The art of fulfillment comes from working out of your gifts, your talents, and your abilities. I'm going to say that again. The art of fulfillment comes from working out of your gifts, talents, and abilities. Success without fulfillment is failure. Success without fulfillment is failure. And I have been coaching people for 4.5 years now, and I cannot tell you the amount of people that are earning 6+. I've taught Grammy nominee people how to use social media. I cannot tell you how unfulfilled they are, regardless of the income, regardless of the success level. Why? Because they never got in touch with who they are. Like, who am I? What am I here to do? What do I stand for? What is the message of my brand? If you listen to Tony Robbins, then you're going to understand that the purpose is much bigger than what you do. So when you talk to these people, like when you look at celebrities, right? They have all the fame, fortune, all of it. They have all of it. Yet, a lot of them are using drugs. Yet, a lot of them are very, very unhappy. Why does that happen? Because you're living outside of your calling, of your purpose, of your fulfillment. You're not using your brand to impact the world. You're using your brand to sell a product. You're not in the business of selling a product. You're in the business of selling yourself. If you don't know yourself, how are you going to connect with the right tribe? See, this isn't about fake it till you make it in the sense of, I'm just going to fake everything that I am and I'm going to put some stuff out there and hopefully the right people come. Because when you're genuine, when you're authentic on social media, then the right people come. Because in today's world, people are attracted to brands that are genuine and authentic because that's what we're missing from this culture. So think about that. I want you to answer the questions that I put on one of the videos this week. Who am I? What do I stand for? We're talking core values. What is my mission statement? What do you want to accomplish in life? When all is said and done, this lighting is killing me. When all is said and done, what is it that you want people to say about you? Then your mission statement is surrounds that you want to be said about you. Then where you're going in life with your business, which is a vehicle, your business is a vehicle to bring about your mission statement, then you're going to have clear purpose. Like, this is what I need to do to get to the next level. But if we're so out of tune with ourselves, what we stand for, our brand, where we're going, then how are you getting there? What are the plans that you're making with your brand to use this vehicle that you've been blessed with to get to where you want to go? What are my interests, dreams, and hopes? When you answer those questions, you're going to get the core of what your brand is, like what your message is, right? And I want you to encourage you and say, when I first started this and when I created this system of being able to help other people find out what their brands are and to share that on social media, I was at a very different place in my life. So where you start with your brand is not going to be where you finish with your brand, because your brand is always going to evolve and develop. And as you grow through self-development and you kind of discover things about yourself, then your brand is going to grow with it. So don't get frustrated like, I don't know all the things, you know, that I need to know about me. Nobody does. Like, we're in the learning process, right? But we just start somewhere, and you start sharing that brand with people, and you start growing your brand, okay? So how are you sharing that message? There's power and vulnerability. Tony Robbins said on a quote that I absolutely love, he said, you have a story and you share it with others because it's going to change their lives. And that is a part of your brand that needs to be vulnerable, right? When you share stories of empowerment, when you share the struggles that you've been through and the lessons that you've learned, when you share the wisdom that you've gotten throughout your lifetime with others, that is going to empower other women to come alongside. And guess what? Then those women are going to want to work with you. People that have a connection with other people invest with them. If there is no emotional connection, it's going to be really difficult to invest time, energy, money, effort, anything into someone or with someone, right? So that's why vulnerability in your brand is important to establish those connections. Vulnerability is the key to connection. See, you don't connect with people when you post about your awesome new car. That's not a connection post. You don't connect with people when you share about, you know, hitting the $200,000 in sale mark in your company. Those are not connection posts. There's nothing wrong with those posts. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that is not a connection post. That is not going to say to someone, oh yeah, I identify with that. Like, wow, thank you for sharing that. Like, that was important to me, whether it be motivational, whatever it is that your brand stands for. Connecting with people is key if you want them to invest with you. Freedom and being creative in your brand, right? When you are loving what you're doing, you're feeling amazing about yourself. And when you're confident about your brand, when you're empowering other people. See, because your brand has to be much more than makeup. Like, where is the empowerment part of it? How is that going to fit into your brand? All these things you have to sort out in order to get to the next level, like you just do. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you have to figure those things out. Know yourself in order to be yourself. Individuality attracts. There's a lot of people that I've coached throughout the years, and they're like, I don't know myself. Like, you know, I've been mom for so long, I've been wife for so long, cook or whatever, and I really don't know who I am anymore. How do I get to know myself, like my interests, my likes, whatever? And you do that through self-development. That's what self-development is for. The self-development is my #1 income-producing activity. Why? Because it's important to get to know yourself in order for that to translate into your brand. So the more self-development you do, the more you're going to get in touch with your brand, the more that your brand is going to be refined. Marketing is about values, it's not about a product or a brand. If you listen to Jim Rohn for a minute, you're going to understand this. He always says marketing is about values. It's about marketing yourself. It isn't about marketing a product. See, you can market makeup or you can market toilet paper. It doesn't matter. The makeup isn't going to make the difference. The toilet paper isn't going to make the difference. What is it that you're selling? You're selling yourself. Once we get that, then stuff starts clicking and we're like, okay, so the brand needs to become who I am, my core values, right? So I can express my core values to the world in a way that resonates with them. When you resonate with a core, with a core people, you're not trying to resonate with the entire world. I'm going to say that again. You're not trying to resonate with the entire world. I think in network marketing, we have this view that like everybody's a customer, everybody's a rep. They aren't. They aren't. Like your tribe, your vibe attracts your tribe. Why do you want a tribe that has nothing to do with who you are? Your core values are where you're going. Like, that makes no sense. So the whole world, like that saying, you're not everybody's cup of tea, that's okay. Like we need to come to a place in our brand that we say, this is who I am unapologetically. These are the things that I'm passionate about. And I'm just going to share that with the world. Let the chips fall where they may, because at the end of your lifetime, if you're going to continue to live a life that is not true to who you are, but you sold some makeup, Are you going to be okay with that? See, I told you this would be a little bit different and controversial and kind of something that you haven't heard before. Because my job isn't for you to like go through life just making it like just okay. Like my job is to teach my people, that's what I do, to become the best version that they can be. So at the end of our lives, we can look back and say, man, I lived an authentic life. Like I loved it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like not a lot of people can say that. Not a lot of people can look back at their lives and say, when you look back at your Facebook and your Instagram and the sum, because that is the sum, like we live on social media, that is the sum of your life right there. And you can say, I loved it. I did well. I impacted lives. But it wasn't because you sold a lipstick to someone or you make a couple of bucks. All that is good and dandy because we have to provide for our families. The focus, the message, that's what I want you to focus on, right? When we get to authentic living is when we really start drawing people to us. It's when we really start making a change in the world. When you start being vulnerable, when you get the aha moment of what your brand is, you start to create connections with your audience, people that are watching you, and they're like, you know, why is it different? Y'all, I've had people in my inbox when I've switched from a company to the other. I've had people in my inbox that have told me, I have no idea what you're doing or what it is, but I want to work with you. That's what I want you to get at. I want you to get to that place that people love who you are so much. Not the entire world, okay? Just your tribe. They resonate with your message so much that they say, what are you selling? Like, are you selling toilet paper? Because I'm in. That's what's going to separate those that are struggling from those that are going to go out there and become influencers. When you have people knocking down your door to represent a brand, and there's a lot of money on the table, right? That's when you become an influencer. When people come to you instead of you hunting people down. That is the whole purpose of this training. This training isn't about you posting on your group page and getting more sales and all of that. All of that is a byproduct of you honing in on your skills, understanding who you are, what your message is, what your brand is, what does authentic living look like to you? How are you going to add value to people on social media? When you answer that, then the sales and the reps and the customers come. That's the byproduct of it, right? So we got to switch the focus. Like, it's not how do I get more sales? It's not how do I go on social media and get more reps and customers and all of that. That is not the focus. That is a byproduct. It is, when you wake up in the morning, how can I add value to people today through my brand? When the focus shifts to that, the byproduct is a flood of people that are going to be attracted to you and what you're doing, your message and your brand and your authenticity and all of that. So identify your target market or niche, which is super, super important, and resonate with that core group, right? So we talked about when you figure out, okay, these are the things that I'm passionate about. This is my brand. This is what I stand for, right? Then start connecting with people in that niche market. And that's what I'm going to teach you with Instagram. I think Sunday we have the Instagram training. I was going to do Facebook first, but I'm going to do Instagram first. I don't know why I posted Facebook. I never do Facebook training first because Facebook kind of piggybacks off of Instagram principles. So I'm going to do that first. So that's Sunday. And then I'm going to teach you to connect with unlimited potentials on Facebook. But if we don't get the brand right first, then we can't move into the next phase, because everything that you do online is going to be determined by your brand and how you answer those questions and what is it that you want your brand to stand for. Okay, you have to be clear on what you want the world to know about you and your brand. The more that you live out your values, the more your message will attract your core group. And I want you to think about this. If you think about Nike, okay, look at any Nike commercial that they have ever done. Nike never talks about features of their product. Features is, what is it, right? Nike never talks about the features of their product. They never talk about their product. That's why they have been voted one of the top marketing companies in the entire world, because they focus on benefits, what it does. It is not what it is, it's what it does. What are the benefits of it? It isn't, this lipstick is going to be, great. It's going to change your complexion. It's going to make you look, glowy and whatever else, right? What is the feeling that we're trying to sell? When you move from feature to feeling, then you become an amazing marketer. Like, you can be a great marketer. You become an amazing marketer when you understand that marketing is about a feeling. That's what the entire world is missing. Great marketers know how to evoke feelings from their audience. And that's what I want you to get to. I want you to get to the place that you are so focused on adding value to people on social media, through your brand, through your message, through who you are. I want you to be so focused on figuring out what... I want you to figure out, at the end of your life, when you look back, what are the things that you want people to say about you? And then answer that core, that mission statement that you have in your core values. And then go from there. Like I said, you don't need to have it all figured out. It doesn't need to be figured out overnight. It's a process. But you have to trust the process and you have to grow with it, right? And early on in my network marketing career, when I was looking through all of this, and this came about from hours upon hours upon hours of research of the most successful marketers on planet Earth, like Tom Ford, Givenchy, Louis Vuitton. Like, I went and searched, what are all these people doing and how do they market and how do they connect with people? And it is a little bit different to brand yourself than to brand a company, okay? It's different, but your brand is not your company. Your company is not your brand. Two completely different things. What you do is not your brand, okay? So I know that it's going to take you a minute to really digest, maybe watch it again and take notes and really think about. This isn't about doing, this is about thinking. This is about, okay, let me work through, I had notes upon notes upon notes and working through this thing to make sure that I got it right. And that's how I became a top recruiter in the profession. And everyone else out there is like, how can I post more of the makeup? How can I do this and that and the other? You're going to have the tools by the time this is done to have some incredible content that you can create. Nothing that anyone is doing out there, because that's what I'm about. I love doing things that no one else is doing. That's what's going to set you apart. But that can't be it. Do you see what I'm saying? That is not the substance of your brand. So start rolling the questions in. I'm going to answer the top first 5 questions, and I'm going to do that live. And then as questions roll, I'll answer them in the comments when I hop back on here throughout the day. I got to go hang out with my kids after this. But like I said, I know that it's very different. It might take you a minute to really understand where you want to go with your brand, or what even is your brand. But it's totally worth it. Once you figure it out, then you start living in purpose and you start living intentional living. And that's when things start to line up for you, when you start stepping into the gift that you have. So let's get started. I'll share a little bit of my story with you, of how I discovered Instagram. So when I joined network marketing, I really didn't set out to work the business. My husband was the one that was going to work the business. He was a personal trainer, and we joined health and wellness to be able to kind of help his clients. So at that point in time, when I went online and I started researching how were businesses growing through social media, especially Instagram and Facebook, because I have not ventured into Pinterest or any Snapchat. I haven't done any of that yet because I became a top recruiter through Facebook. So I really have more prospects than I can do with. So I really haven't ventured into another platform, but Instagram was like the easiest thing for me to do. I was homeschooling middle school, 2 little girls in pre-K. I had a 2-year-old and a 14-month-old. And for me to be able to post pictures and reach through the hashtags as many people as possible at once, like that's where I was at. So when I started researching like what were companies doing through Instagram to grow their audience, like a whole new world opened up for me. And I just really, for the first 8 months of my business, I focused on Instagram. So that's really how I built my first 6 figures. So let's get right into it. In order to have a strong social media presence, you need to establish your brand, right? And these are principles that I learned like when all of it was said and done, and I looked back and I was like, okay, how do I teach my team to do the same thing I did? It wasn't that I had all these principles figured out. It's like, that's what I did to get to where I am. So I'm going to teach that to my people, because all the principles that I learned from Instagram and Facebook didn't come from one person. It was like, I took all these parts from all these different businesses and brands that were absolutely incredible. And I was like, okay, how do I make that mine? How do I succeed with that? Because I love that. I'm going to do that. So it was kind of like, I'm going to put everything together that I learned. And that's how I came up with my Instagram game. So we talked about this week branding, and that's super important. So who am I? What do I stand for? What is my mission statement? And what are my interests, my dreams, and my passion? And, you know, when I started posting on Instagram, I wasn't, you know, in a great place in life. Like, we didn't have extra stuff. Like, I wasn't living the life. So there was no like life I could be posting, you know, to show like lifestyle. That's just not my reality when I started. So I don't think it's a lot of people's realities, you know, when they start. So what I did was I just projected my dreams and my hopes. Like, I believed in network marketing so much that I just set out to project and cast the vision of where I was going. So maybe I wasn't there yet, and maybe that's where you're at. You're like, I'm not there yet. So how do I get, you know, how do I post things on Facebook and on Instagram that's going to draw people to me if I'm not living the lifestyle yet? Yet is the key word. So what you do is you cast a vision, right? So when you're constantly casting that vision out there, you're going to have people that are going to come alongside, and you're going to be like, yeah, that's where I want to go. Like, I want to be there one day. So when you answer those questions, you're going to answer the core of your brand, and that's going to take time. Like, you're not going to figure that out overnight. And there's a lot of soul searching that you're going to have to do, because the most important brands out there, the brands that are like changing the world, are brands that have a purpose behind it. Nike, it isn't just shoes. Tesla, it isn't just cars. There's a vision, there's a mission. Apple, like, they sell the feeling. So Instagram is a cold market. I want you to understand that you cannot compare Instagram to Facebook. 2 completely different formats, platforms. You cannot treat them the same. The same things that you're doing on Instagram may not work on Facebook, and vice versa, because it's 2 different markets. Facebook tends to be more of a warm market unless you are already a social influencer and you have, you know, 65,000 followers or, you know, plus, and then it becomes a cold market because you have a lot of people that follow you that you really don't know. But Instagram is a true cold market, so you want to treat it as such. Attraction marketing is the art of drawing people to you. So traditionally in network marketing, we used to just spam people, you know, just be on people's inbox and just spam them all day long. But what happened was that was being done so much all across the board with so many different companies that people got a really bad taste for network marketing. And then network marketing had a really bad reputation of spammy people that were in people's inboxes. I mean, just posts that went viral about different companies, you know, training people to do this. And to be honest with you, when you go from spamming people to truly caring about your audience, to truly caring about making an impact in people's lives, and you start working attraction marketing, you get people in your inbox. That's the goal. The goal is to move from being the hunter to being the hunted. That's the goal, and that's what attraction marketing can do for you. So in order to draw people to you, then you have to focus on self-development. And people ask me all the time, like, what is your number one income producing activity? And my number one income producing activity is self-development. You're not going to get to the next level without it. Why? Because your paycheck will never outgrow your mindset. I'm going to say that again. Your paycheck will never outgrow your mindset. So if your mindset is that of a $200 a week paycheck, that's what you're going to get. Because the mindset is not where you need it to be for that $10,000 a week paycheck. Okay. So as you work on your self-development, you're going to see your brand maturing, because that's what your brand does. And then you're going to start drawing people to you, because what you become is who you attract, right? We hear the saying all the time. It says your vibe attracts your tribe. That's true. What vibe are you putting out there that's going to attract people to you? So if you're complaining that you're signing people up and they're not doing anything, you're not signing people up, like, what is it that you're putting out there? So that's what I want you to think about. Your vibe attracts your tribe. What is it that you're putting out there? Be the brand. You don't sell a product, you sell yourself. And I said this on the branding video. Jim Rohn said that, and it just stuck with me. And that's how I've been able to become the number one recruiter in every company that I've been with. And that's because I'm not selling a product, I'm selling myself. So it doesn't really matter if I sell toilet paper or I sell makeup or I sell jewelry. It does not matter. When you work on your brand and you hone in your skills, I think that's thunder and it scared my dogs. Okay. So when you hone in on your skills, then it doesn't really matter what you're doing. People want to be a part of that. And that's where I want to get you at. This is what I coach my team on. Instagram is about being creative and inspiring. Okay. Like I said, very different platforms. So when you go on Facebook and you share, like, you're very vulnerable and all of that, Instagram is not the place for that. Instagram is more inspiring and because it's more photos, like it's all about photos, it's more like pleasing to the eye, meaning bright colors, like inspiration, motivation, like that is what rocks Instagram. Like I said, if you take the vulnerability and the long posts and all of that and you put it into Instagram, that's not going to work for you, because people come to Instagram to be inspired. Like, people come to Instagram to browse through, quickly. And what catches the eye on Instagram is where people are going to stop their scroll and see what you have going on. Okay. So Instagram cannot be something you do. It has to be a way of life. It just becomes your brand. It becomes a way of life. This is why it's so important for you not to have any business, anything when it comes to your description on Instagram. I have a high rank in my company and I still don't post that on my Instagram. You will not find that on my Facebook. And the reason for that is because if I'm trying to connect with new people, we're not talking about warm market, people that already know you. This whole training is about people that don't know you. This is about connecting with new people. If I'm trying to connect with new people, I don't want the first thing, because we already talked about, we have a kind of bad reputation already because of all the spamming. I don't want people to come to my Instagram profile or to my Facebook and judge me by what I do instead of who I am. It's unfortunate, but that's where we are in network marketing. So if I don't post any of that on there and I share my brand with the world and I allow people to get to know me, people are going to be in my inbox and they're going to ask me what I do. They're going to try to find out, what is it that I do? That's the goal. The goal is not, let's see how many times I can put my company name and rank and everything else on my profiles. The game is becoming incognito and sharing your brand with the world and having people that when you do your action calls, which we're going to go over in a little bit, when you do your action calls, they will be in your text. They will be in your messenger. So when people mention your name, What are you known for? So that is going to be what becomes your brand. When people mention your name, what is it that you're known for? Think about that. You can inspire people if you aren't inspired yourself. There's so many people out there that are doing network marketing and they're working out of desperation. They're not working out of inspiration. They're working out of desperation, and that's what shows up on their posts. So if you're posting every single day and you're like, oh my goodness, I have to post on Facebook, like what do I post on Instagram? That's desperation. If you stay a little bit longer up the night before and you figure out, okay, what is it that I want to project through my profiles tomorrow? Y'all, let's work. It is. But it's the difference between you becoming an influencer and having people knocking at your door and having brands come to you to represent them. The difference between that, or the difference between struggling and having to message people because you don't have anybody in your inbox. So it is work, but you want your profiles to have I thought about this. Like, I just didn't wake up today and threw a bunch of stuff in my social profiles hoping, hey love, hoping that someone's just gonna, join my business or, hop on my inbox. So you're working your business every single day out of inspiration instead of desperation. Finding yourself is the key to developing your brand. And that comes through self-development. So stay away from senseless posting out of desperation instead of inspiration. When you set out to inspire people, you cause a movement of people who want to follow you. I did not say when you set out to sell something to someone. I did not say when you set out to have someone join your team. When you set out to inspire other people, you cause a movement of people who want to follow you. I can literally right now spam my entire Facebook wall with 10,000 business posts. I can do that. You know why I can do that? Because I've built such a brand that adds value to my followers that they will not unfollow me. That is where you want to get to. The fact that your brand adds so much value to people that you cause a movement of people who want to follow you, that regardless if you post 10,000 times on, you get to the point that you can do that, you post it on your wall, you're not going to have, the entire half the world unfollow you. So how do we create that movement? Is your Instagram a profile that inspires people, or do they hop on your Instagram and they immediately feel sold on something? I want you to think about that when you look through your Instagram. Marketing is about selling a feeling, not a product. When people are emotionally connected with you, they want to invest. Whether it's buying the lipstick, whether it's buying the mascara, whether it's joining you in business, but they feel that connection. When they're connected, they want to invest. So how do we make that connection with people? So I would not have business profiles on Instagram, okay? There's people that have personal profiles and they have business profiles. Like, the era of separating business and personal is over. Like, that was network marketing 5 years ago, okay? So welcome to the new era of network marketing. And it is not, I'm gonna have 2 different profiles. That's just, it's not gonna cut it anymore. So let's go into some practical things that you can do on Instagram to grow your business. So project your hopes, your dreams, and your interests, okay? Like, you're never gonna see my Instagram, like, with yoga, pictures or hiking. Like, I don't do any of that. So stay within your brand, stay within your niche, right? 1 to 2 max out of 5 pictures need to be product and opportunity, okay? So at this point, I would say 1 out of 5 pictures that you post on Instagram, okay? Everything else, those other 4 pictures, needs to be your brand. Your hopes, your interests, your dreams, all of that needs to be the other 4 pictures, and then 1 picture every 5. You're gonna create a post pattern. 1 every 5 is gonna be business or product, okay? So the key is to draw people into your Instagram account through the pictures that have nothing to do with your product or your business. So when you draw those people in through those pictures that have nothing to do with your product and your business, They check out your profile and they're like, yes, I want to follow her. I love that profile. That is so inspiring. That is so cool. I love the colors. Like, I feel amazing when I look at that Instagram account. And then you drop your call to actions, and then you sneak your, your product here and there. People don't feel like, oh, they're trying to sell me something, like every other profile on Instagram from a network marketer. Do you see the difference? You got to be wise about how you post. So 99% is your brand, like your dreams, interests, dream board. This is where I'm headed, like beautiful things that inspire me. 1% needs to be business, product, whatever. So you can attract those people into your Instagram account, and then you can expose them to your product and opportunity. So 20 to 30 tags per picture. Why do I use 20 to 30 tags per picture? Because your target market is your hashtags. That is your target market. So the less tags that you use, you are literally keeping those pictures from hundreds of thousands of people. So I want to impact and reach as many people as I can with the same photo. So I want to use 20 to 30 hashtags, and that hashtags were created for Instagram. So that's not spammy at all on Instagram. That is what it was created for. So it's not a big deal. The app that you can use for it is Tagomatic. Tagomatic. And Tagomatic I use to come up with like the top trending tags for whatever I'm looking for. So let's say I'm looking for fashion, and I want the top trending tags on fashion, so I don't have to write out my own tags because that can take time. So I post fashion on Tagomatic, and all the top hashtags are going to come up. I'm going to copy and paste that into my Instagram, and I'm going to use all those tags to reach that market with that picture, draw people to my profile. They're now following me. When I drop in that picture of my business opportunity, when I post in that, that product, then you're going to have all that audience to share that with, because you created a following through pictures that had nothing to do with your business. So every single day, research what's trending in your niche market. The things that you're passionate about, like I'm a homeschooling mom, I'm passionate about that. So I'm going to be posting about that. Like I'm going to go on Pinterest. I'm going to figure out like what's trending, that has to do with my brand that I can be posting on Instagram as well. Okay. So stick to your niche market, share yourself with the world. Great content on Instagram is going to help you retain followers, because it's not only about getting followers, it's follower retention. To get people to continue to follow you and not unfollow you. And the key to that is having an amazing Instagram content. So if you're going around and spamming people with business and opportunity, then your Instagram is not going to be as exciting as people that are doing the opposite. It's almost like reverse psychology. So post, when I built my 6 figures on Instagram, I was posting 12 to 20 times every single day. I was not using an automated poster. I know that there's different automated posters that you can use. You can set it the night before and whatever, but I don't like automated posting. I'm just weird like that. I'm kind of like those designy, like very left brain creative people that auto posters freak me out, because what if I don't feel like that tomorrow? Then the whole world ends and it's all over. Just kidding. But I am weird like that. So if you do want an auto poster, I think Hootsuite I've been told is a good auto poster to use. Like I said, I don't have any experience with auto posters because I don't use them. Consistency is key on Instagram. If you don't post daily, consistently, you won't get business. I know people that post 10 times in one day, and then they don't post for like a week, and then they post, 10 times another day. So you have to stay consistent. If you say, well, 12 times on Instagram is not something that I can do right now, that's cool. But if you can do 2 times, you're going to have to do 2 times every single day, because that's going to help you with follower retention. If you post like whenever you feel like it, like right now, I post whenever I feel like it, because I'm not actively working Instagram. So like I have way too many people from Facebook to be focusing on Instagram right now. So I post whenever I want, and guess what? I rarely get business from Instagram these days. So I know though what I need to do if I want to go ahead and tap into Instagram again and to actively work Instagram. So make sure that whether it's 2 pictures or 20 that you can do a day, that you do it consistently. Okay, so use colors that pop. First impressions matter, especially those first 9 pictures when someone decides, am I going to follow them or not? And this is huge because a lot of people have decided to put their account on private. And you're like working a business, right? So you're working a business, you want people to follow you, but your account is on private. Like, how are they going to determine whether they want to follow you or not? So you're working with a cold market, people that really don't know you from Adam, and they're like, okay, so can I see your profile so I can see if I want to follow you or not? And you're like, no, it's so private. I'm such a private person. It's going to be private. So the thing is, if you want to not have your children on Instagram, then don't post about your kids. But you cannot run a business on a closed private. You have to request to follow. Like, that's not gonna work for business. Okay, so use colors that pop. PixArt, the HDR filter on PixArt is bomb. It's amazing. So how do we get followers on Instagram? Commenting, liking pictures. You can actually find, if you're looking to have local girls, like business partners, you're wanting to find local people, then go to local shops on Instagram and go to restaurants, go to fitness centers on Instagram, and then start following all their followers. The key to Instagram is that when you follow people, they're going to follow back. That's Instagram etiquette. So if you want local people, you have to go to the local shops, the local accounts on Instagram, and start following their followers. And then you're going to get all those people that are local to you that are going to follow you back. So if you're going to do this, there's 2 ways you can do this to grow your following. Okay. Number 1, you can do it manually. So my goal when I started, I didn't have an automated thing that would do it for me until I discovered it later. So my goal was to follow 200 people every single day. Okay. If you're not following people, you're not getting people to follow you, you got no business. So 200 people is your goal every single day to follow. So, when the week was over, you can only follow 7,500 people on Instagram. I had to go back, and I think it's Crowdfire, the app that allows you to unfollow people that are not following you back. And I used to clean out my Instagram account so I can go back and follow more people. That's how I grew my Instagram account. But then I discovered something called Insta Macro. So INSTA MACRO, and Insta Macro does the following and liking for you. And you can literally go on Insta Macro when you're maxed out 7,500. You can hit unfollow people that are not following me back, and it will clean out your account. Like that, you can focus on just amazing content. So that was huge for me because I honestly did not have all day to be sitting on my phone following people and following people. So if you're really busy, I think Insta Macro is $50 a month. I highly recommend it because still till today, if I'm gonna if I want to rock my Instagram, I will use Insta Macro. So followers only get a first impression once. So think about the pictures that are on the top of your feed. So we want to run a business with a public profile. People want to see who they're following, if the content is something that they want to follow. So make sure that it is public, not private. Inspire, don't sell. And then post a call to action every time that you post a picture of the product and business. If you do not use call to actions, you are leaving money on the table, literally. We live in a society that people will not message you and be like, hey, I'm interested in blah, 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 blah. They literally need you to tell them what to do and when to do it. So when you post a picture, let's say, of this lip gloss, okay? You're gonna post a picture of this lip gloss and you're going to, post it's so beautiful and sparkly and I love it, okay? And then you're gonna be to get 20% off, text sparkles to, text lip gloss to, and your phone number, okay? And the reason you want that is because you don't want to have conversations on Instagram. The goal is to get conversations off of Instagram and into your phone because then you have a follow-up. If you're doing the business opportunity, you're going to post text opportunity to, text free makeup to, text whatever it is that you want, work from home to, and your phone number. Why? Because when you have a phone number to follow up with that person, you're not scattered all over the place. You have some people on Instagram, you have some people on Facebook, like you don't know what's going on with your life, right? So we want people in one place. I know there's two places that have prospects in: text messages and Facebook Messenger. That's it. I don't have people anywhere else. So it keeps it super easy for me to be able to do all my follow-ups. So call to actions are huge. So I put the list of the top apps that I have for editing, but these are the specific ones that I use for Instagram, just for the colors to pop and all of that. So PixArt is one of them. WordSwag is another one. Rona Design, Photo Candy. And then to edit my filters, I use Picked Up Go, Be Funky, and VSCO. To take my selfies, I use the Beauty Plus app. I love that app. So those are the apps that I love the most for Instagram, because like I said, like I want my colors to pop. I want everything to be like, boom, you come to my profile and it's like, yes, queen, I love it. I want to follow. So that's what I want with your Instagram profile. So go ahead and start rolling the questions in. I'm going to take the first 5, and then we will be done with the training for today. I hope that you had a lot of value from the training. This is specifically what I've done to build my first 6 figures on Instagram. Super excited to have you on here today. So as you know, if you went through my Instagram training, I built my first 6 figures through Instagram, and then I became a multiple 6-figure income earner and the top female recruiter through Facebook. So I actually do not work Instagram actively any longer. I do still post on Instagram and stuff like that, but I'm not actively working it because I have so many potentials from Facebook that I really can't keep up, and it takes a lot of time to work Instagram, to be honest with you. So when it comes to branding yourself, I do Facebook training after I do Instagram, because it is the same principle as the branding that you do for Instagram. You want to make sure that your Facebook is branded. So make sure your description on Facebook has emojis. You use the keywords that describe you and your brand, right? So if you go to my profile, you see the description. It's keywords that describe me and my brand and what I want to project into the world, right? So when you do that and you add the emojis to it, you're going to see that you're not going to see rank or company information either on my banner, description, or any of that. And we talked about why last week, but I'm going to touch on that a little bit because unfortunately, network marketing, because of all the cold messaging and just things that were done the wrong way, we've like ran people scared. And when you have all that plastered on your wall, you can give the wrong impression that you're trying to sell to someone. Even though you are, we want to be smart about it. That's why smart marketing, that is why creative marketing is taking a lead, and those are the people that are getting to the next level and beyond in the network marketing profession. So I would not recommend putting your website on your description. I would not recommend putting the company that you work for, putting the rank and all of that. It's you're giving away the house. You know what I mean? Like I've had people message me and say, I don't know what you do. Like, what are you doing? And you can go through my feed and know what I do, but if you don't take the time to go through my feed, you're not going to see it on my banner. You're not going to see it on my description. You're not going to see it on my, like, you know, what are you doing now and your work and rank and all of that. And I do that on purpose. So in order to be relevant in this profession, you need to speak the language we speak today. If you're still speaking the language we spoke 20 years ago in network marketing, you're missing the boat. You have to adapt to overcome. So network marketing today is very different than it was, you know, even 5 years ago. 5 years ago when everyone kind of flooded, you know, even 4.5 years ago when everyone kind of flooded, you know, social media with their network marketing opportunity, we kind of did that the wrong way, and we scared a lot of people off. So now you have a new wave of people that are learning attraction marketing. You have a new way of people that are more focused on adding value to other people. And those are the people that are signing other people. Those are the people that become the top recruiters in the profession because people gravitate toward them. So adapt to overcome. We're using a lot of GIFs, emojis, stickers, graphics. So it's a little bit different than old school network marketing, but that's what, I mean, we are visual beings, right? So that is what's speaking to our generation today. When you're scrolling through Instagram, that picture that pops up and grabs your attention is the one that you're going to go check out. When you're scrolling through Facebook, that graphic that's going to pop up and grab your attention, or that video, is what you're going to stop at in the midst of, you know, hundreds and thousands of people on your feed. You want to be that person. You want to be that person that puts out the content that other people are like, man, that is just brilliant. Like, that is so good. That is what we want to get you to, right? So be committed to learning this generation's language. And it involves apps, it involves GIFs, it involves creative marketing, it involves learning how to do videos. Like, it's just what it takes today to separate yourself from the rest. And that is what's going to take for you to take your business to the next level. So what do you post on Facebook? Okay, so you figured out your brand. We did that last week. Okay, you figured out what your niche is. So you post accordingly. Like, what is your brand? My followers know my brand. So I'm kind of an activist. So a lot of my followers, actually most of my followers, know that they will find a lot of things that are controversial on my wall because I am an activist. This is so annoying me. So stick to your brand, because people, your followers, are going to get to know your brands. And if you start posting outside of your brand, you start going back to posting out of desperation instead of inspiration, and you're just throwing a bunch of stuff on your wall, people are going to notice the difference. So post within your brand so people do not unfollow you. Be genuine and be authentic. People want to follow people they connect with. And we talked about this in the branding video. If you're genuine and authentic and wanting to add value to other people through your brand, branding yourself as a personal brand is very different than branding a business, right? So when you set out to inspire other people, when you set out to add value to other people, you create a movement of people that want to join you, people that want to invest with you, people that want to support you. So if they don't join you in the business, they'll join you as a customer and buy from you just because they want to support you. Share content that is shareable, right? So shareable content is likely to go viral. So when you share content that is either hilarious, like people come to Facebook to be educated, entertained. So when you share content like that, you have the ability to make content go viral. And I'm going to show you some of the things that you can do to get more views on your videos and to actually have content go viral like I have. I think my highest viewed video has over 2 million views, and then I have videos that have like 500,000, 300,000, 200,000, and then posts that have like 39,000 likes and shares and all of that. So shareable content is huge. Facebook is about adding value to others. So we talked about Instagram being inspirational and very like people go on there just to be inspired and to look at pretty pictures. Facebook is about adding value to other people. It's a completely different platform. So people come to Facebook to be inspired, to be educated, and to be entertained. Okay, so educate. What can you post that people will wake up and want to come to your wall to check out, right? So that's the education part of it. If you are like into health and wellness, regardless if you sell makeup, you know, whatever else the case may be, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, but if it's a passion of yours, let's say that you love holistic medicine, what can you share on your wall to be educating people constantly on the things that you're passionate about, right? So when people are like, oh my goodness, like I wonder what they posted today. I've had people like message me and be like, I love your content. And I wake up every single day and I'm like, okay, what is she sharing today, right? And I share a lot of world news and alternative news. So I have people that are like, you know, when so-and-so happened in North Korea, I came to your wall to see what you had to say about it. That's what we want to get you to within your brand. Like, what are you known for in your brand? Educate people on it. So if it's fitness, if you're into fitness, if you're a mom, if you're a stay-at-home mom, if you love homeschooling, like whatever it is that you're passionate about, okay, educate people on that. And it doesn't have to be like, paragraphs and paragraphs at a time, but you can give tips and tricks and all of that, but you are known as someone that is adding value to the Facebook community. Are you inspiring, educating, and entertaining? Are you sharing yourself with the world? Those are questions that you need to ask when you're posting on Facebook. So join as many interest groups as you can find. So when you go to search on the Facebook bar, you're going to see like you can search for kayak, like makeup groups. You can search for homeschooling groups, stay-at-home moms, working moms. Like there's all sorts of groups on Facebook. Crocheting, knitting. I think there's even like a Chihuahua group. It was really interesting, but I saw it. It's like there's a Chihuahua group just for Chihuahuas, like not Chihuahuas that have Facebook, but obviously the owners of Chihuahuas that have Facebook. That would be weird if Chihuahuas had Facebooks. But join those groups, okay? Join as many interest groups as you can and connect with people in those groups. And here's the mistake that most network marketers make, okay? They join Facebook groups and they want to post about their business and they want to post about their opportunity and their product and everything else. That is not the purpose of joining Facebook groups. The purpose of joining Facebook groups is to create friendships. So the first thing I do when I join a group is I introduce myself. So I post a picture of myself with my family or whatever, and I put a little description of what I do. I do not mention network marketing in any of that at any point in time because you will get kicked out of the group faster than you said hello. Why? Because it goes back to just network marketing having a really bad stigma, like people going into groups and just plastering their opportunity and their product and messaging people, and that's gotten out of control. So as soon as you mention network marketing in any group that is not about network marketing, like you have the ability to get kicked out. So what you want in those groups is to create friendships. You want to comment, you want to post, you want to add value to the group. You want to form friendships in those groups, and that's what's going to get people following you. That's what's going to get new friends. When you expose those people to the value that you're adding, not only in the groups, but on your wall, when you drop in your call to actions on Facebook, you're bound to have people in your inbox. But if we're so aggressive and you go into groups wanting to talk to the first person, the first conversation that comes up about your product and about your opportunity, you're not going to have the opportunity of connecting with unlimited potentials. Facebook has over 2 billion users. Instagram has over 600,000 by now. So you have the ability to connect with unlimited potentials if you do it right. Most network marketers are not doing it right now. So as soon as they come into these groups that are huge and amazing and you have so many people that you can connect with, they vomit all over the place and they start plastering stuff and spamming the group, and that's how they get removed. So lives are huge on Facebook, okay? So share your lives into the group. So let's say that you did a live on homeschooling, because I'm a homeschool mom. So let's say I did a live on homeschooling. I'm going to share that live. Let's say I did tips or whatever. I'm going to share that live into all the mom groups that I'm a part of. I'm going to share that live into all the homeschooling groups that I'm a part of. If you do like a summer tutorial, tips and hacks on how to keep your skin fresh or whatever, okay, without selling your product, you're giving tips and hacks while doing your makeup. Again, this is about creative marketing. You can share that live into all these makeup groups that have all these girls that love makeup, but you're not selling anything. You're adding value. Do you see what I'm saying? It's about being smart in the way that you market. So there is a way to be able to connect with all these women that can potentially become your business partners, but it's the way you go about it. So do lives in your niche and share into groups. We talked about that. Your Facebook should be 90% you, 10% business. And like I said, I can't read any of the comments. Like I don't even see comments coming through. So when I get off the live, I'm going to be able to see them and answer the questions. But Facebook should be 90% you, 10% business, just like Instagram is. Adding value, sharing knowledge, entertaining, all of that. When you drop your call to action, for example, you did a promo on being able to work from home and getting paid to do selfies and all this stuff. You're going to post a call to action that says, this is what it's called, a power post. You're going to say, drop a comment below, or drop, an emoji below, drop me below, comment opportunity below for more information. All of those are call to actions that you can pick from and do on your Facebook. When you do those call to actions, you're going to have people that are going to either drop an emoji, drop a comment, be in your inbox, whatever it is that you directed those people to do. But it's because of the 90% that you posted on your wall. It's not because of the business post. Like, that didn't add value to anybody. Do you see what I'm saying? The opportunity and the product didn't add value to anybody when you posted it. It was just a call to action. So the other 90% that you're putting out into the world should be adding value to people. So action calls work on Facebook, like drop an emoji and sticker. We use that. Use momentum and post aggressively. Obviously, when you are kicking off a promotion, or you went into a 90-day run or anything like that, you're going to post more aggressively than the rest of the time. So know the season you're in business, and it's easier to write off momentum and to continue in the momentum that actually it is to create momentum. Okay, so know your seasons, post accordingly, do giveaways in the groups. This is something that I did at the beginning to get followers, and it worked so well. I would go into the makeup groups and I would do a giveaway. So one time I did a Gucci giveaway, and I gave 2 Gucci lipsticks that were limited edition. And the 2 requirements I asked for in those groups was, number 1, to follow me, and number 2, to comment below that they did. So the two things that are going to happen when you do that is that you're going to get new followers, and then the second is that post is going to continue to come up. That post is going to continue to come up on the group, so more people are going to be able to see it because people are commenting on it that they followed you to be entered into the giveaway. Obviously, there are some groups that don't allow giveaways, but in a lot of the groups that I did the giveaways in, they did allow the giveaway, and it wasn't like they didn't have to pay for entries, and it was like within the guidelines. So I think from the Gucci giveaway, I literally got 2,500 new followers in 3 days. So that worked really, really well for me. So when you do giveaways, when you do like Facebook events, those have been huge for my business. So I've done once a month Facebook event for my entire downline, like in every company that I've been with. And now we have a prospect group, so it's a little bit different, but we did giveaways. Like, as soon as I scheduled that Facebook event, we posted the giveaway on the event, and in order to enter the giveaway, you had to tag 5 friends. So now you're tapping into your friends' friends, not only just your friends. So that was huge to be able to do giveaways. Is people ask me all the time, how do you get people to events? Do giveaways. There is no other way to get people to events. Like, you're not going to get the outcome that you want without doing giveaways, okay? So we talked about doing the work from home events, share your product, share your story about your company, and then at the end of that, you do a call to action. So I was the highest ranking always on my team, so I would do the Facebook event. So I would get the highest ranking person on your team to do the event team-wide, and then I used to do a check-in. So at the beginning of the event, you had to check in with the person that invited you. That eliminated any confusion as to who invited them and who is what. So at the end, there was no links that were allowed in any of my events, and at the end, I would send prospects back to the person that invited them to sign up. So those have been huge, huge for us, as I can get so many people in front of me and people all over the world. So that was really, really important. If you have a Facebook group and you're wondering, like, how can I get people to add more people to the Facebook group? Do giveaways. I do those in my my information group all the time. So you can do like a kit, giveaway, product giveaway, Visa gift card giveaway, Victoria's Secret, like all those things are huge. especially with women. And then you can require them to enter the giveaway to add 5 friends or more into the group and then tag them on that post. So you know who added who, and you can keep track of that and then just do a giveaway. But that's a way to add more people into your information group and like have people go out and add their own people to it. Doing an unboxing live is huge. Actually, the one time that I did an unboxing live, it was like I got 8,000 views. I had so many people in my inbox, and there was something about unboxing your stuff live that people love. Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe they love just like Christmas time and we're unboxing something. So, stay relevant, engaging, and interesting. That's what's going to get people drawn to you and to your brand. Relevant, engaging, and interesting. Get creative with your get to know me post, right? So there's a difference in posts. There's call to actions, which is what we share, drop a comment, drop an emoji. And there's what I call soft marketing. And soft marketing is when you do lifestyle posts. When you are marketing without a power post, without hard selling. So it could be something as me, you know, laying out on my lawn and being like, you know, having a fabulous day, so thankful that I get to work from home. That is soft marketing. Like, you're marketing, but you're not like inbox me, drop, you know, it doesn't have a call to action. So those are the 2 different lifestyle posts that you can do. You can do call to actions most of the time. I do a call to action at least once a day. And that's right now because I'm going to run. So that's going to be a little bit different. But high resolution pictures are huge. And there's a study that Facebook did that, you know, lives are watched 70% longer than regular videos. And you get 75% more views on pictures than you do posts without pictures. So you have a ton of apps in here that can actually take your business to the next level. That's going to separate you from the crowd. That's what you want. Like, when people come into my inbox, they're like, oh my goodness, you have the best graphics there is. That's what you want. Like, my team has the best graphics in the entire company that I'm in. Like, that's what we're known for. So that's what I want you to focus on. Like, how do I add value? How do we take the posting from really good to excellent, right? That's this year's kind of resolution for you. Is it too late for resolution? I don't know, but we're gonna have one. And it's, how do I take my post from okay to great, and then how do we take them to excellent, right? And that's, you're gonna be able to share your brand with the world and live your truth and love what you do, because the most important part about network marketing is loving what you do. And if you're constantly hiding the most important things to you, which becomes your brand, in order to sign somebody, in order to fit into a box, in order to fit into somebody else's brand, then you're going to come to a point in time where you're not going to be happy. And that's when people quit. People quit because they're unhappy. People quit when they feel like they have no purpose. So when you establish your brand and you realize, I'm different than other people, and that individuality is what makes you amazing. Like, you're different. We are all different. So let's not try to fit into a box with our brand, and let's share that individuality with the world, because your vibe is going to attract your tribe. And your tribe is going to be very different than other people's tribes, and it's okay. That's the way it was meant to be.